this episode, we will walk you through the gameplay and tactics so you can grind the ranks with ease. Now, without further ado, let's dive in. Phoveus' first skill is his primary damage source. Each successful cast on the enemy hero grants Phoveus a shield and a temporary movement speed buff. Phoveus' second skill, on the other hand, forces the enemy caught in the area of effect to move, which forms a perfect combo with his ult. Phoveus' ult serves as the core of his skill set. When the enemy in range casts a blink or charge skill, the ult will mark the enemy, during which Phoveus can cast the ult to blink towards them and deal a forceful blow, inflicting damage on the enemies in the area. Note that before the ult enters cooldown, Phoveus can cast this skill multiple times in a row if certain requirements are met. For Phoveus' build, we recommend this set, as Phoveus' primary role in battle is a diver. Moreover, this build provides him with sufficient tankiness and regeneration, which helps him survive his dangerous role. Clock of Destiny grants Phoveus decent regen and tankiness, while Ice Queen 1 further enhances his ability to restrict enemies' movement. Next, go for Brute Force Breastplate and Oracle to get even more HP and defense for Phoveus to ensure his survivability in teamfights. Lastly, complete the build with Immortality to make Phoveus a dreadful and likely unkillable figure on the battlefield. The core technique when using Phoveus is to constantly use Malefic Terror to engage enemies in close quarter combat. The shield and movement speed boost granted by Malefic Terror guarantee that trading would always be in favor of Phoveus. Keep in mind, Malefic Terror is one of the major sources of Phoveus' tankiness. If the enemy disengages, use a Staros Eye to harass them from afar. When the time comes, cast the ult right away to finish them off. As a tanky fighter, Phoveus' primary objective in the early game is to restrict enemies' movement as well as tanking damage for the team. Choose between a Staros Eye and Malefic Terror wisely. A Staros Eye serves best when cast from afar, really gets to shine in close combat. Work with teammates or cast the second skill, a Staros Eye, to force enemies to cast Blink or Dash skills. Next, cast Demonic Force to blink into the fray. There is no better time than now to put Flame Shot to good use. Then follow up with another cast of Demonic Force. Once an enemy attempts to dash or blink out of the teamfight, cast Demonic Force again. If Demonic Force has entered cooldown, use Malefic Terror to deny enemies escape attempts. In the early game, Phoveus' mobility is relatively low. When laning, keep a close watch at a distance from the enemy and cast a Staros Eye to harass from afar. Phoveus will take on a different role once he enters the mid-game. Relying on his high mobility at this point, he has the potential to turn the tables. So, remember to engage where Phoveus is needed. With good equipment, Phoveus truly becomes the X-factor in the late game. The frequent casts of Demonic Force not only break the enemy formation, but also deal devastating damage. Moreover, the short cooldown of Malefic Terror could bring Phoveus an everlasting shield. Not to mention the advanced tier equipment has already provided enough tankiness for him. Well, that wraps up this episode of Road to Mythic. Stay tuned for more insightful guides on our channel as you climb the ranks. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.